If you're willing to practice with these tools, you'll easily halve the time it takes you to edit your videos. Slice, slip, slide, ripple, roll, and stretch. Stay tuned. I was watching some video editors the other day and realized they waste a ton of time by not knowing their basics, the editing tools. They cut the front, cut the back, move the footage to fill the gap, cut to the next front and back, and move the footage again. When they want to tweak between the two, they drag one end, drag the other end, drag the clip to fill the gap, and so on. Like typing or using Control-C or Control-V for copy and paste, once you've practiced them enough by using them, you don't have to think about it. Here's a quick example. I have this text document and I want to copy and paste the words copy and paste to the end of the document. I select the text with the mouse, find the edit menu, choose copy, hold down the edit menu, and choose paste. Since I know how to select text, know the commands, and know the keyboard shortcuts, I can double click and drag, press Control-C for copy and Control-V for paste. Like video editing, the time savings of 4 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but when you are editing scripts, emails, documents, and so on, this adds up. The same goes for these time-saving tools found in almost every editor like Final Cut, Premiere Pro, Davinci Resolve, HitFilm, and any other good video editor. They're there for a reason. Let's run through these. Okay, we're going to take a look at this. Again, I'm not going to go through everything in here. I just want to show you these various tools that are available in each editor. I happen to be using Premiere Pro. It doesn't matter what editor you're using, you'll be able to find these tools and they all work the same. I have 3 pieces of footage here. Let's take a look at this. It's where I'm setting up a shot to do some sort of smooth 4 on my phone where I track, I go under the footage. This one, getting all set up. I got this guy eating an ice cream cone. It's in slow motion. This guy's awesome. He is so into this ice cream cone. He was so enjoying himself. I just had to shoot him. And then lastly, we just have me setting some stuff up, going along, and here's a walking shot, a down low of some people. I'm testing to see how this thing handles me walking hard on a really crappy boom pole. And it actually did pretty well given the circumstances. Anyway, let's take a look at this. Obviously, the first tool that we can go over is a razor tool. It's sometimes called a slicer. You basically rough edit. You say, I want to start right about there. You chop that. I want to end right about there. Yep, you chop that. We go through, we get rid of that piece. We get rid of that piece. By the way, you may have this, you may not. There's a thing called ripple delete. It slides them over to fill up the space. In Premiere Pro, I don't know what your editor does. You can also press Shift Delete. It does the same thing. Anyway, we're gonna go grab this guy with the ice cream cone. Right about there, let's say. Cool. Let's get rid of that front footage. We're gonna come over right about there. Probably won't be that long. We're gonna go to C for our razor tool. Slice that, remove the extraneous footage. And over here, maybe we'll have these guys start here. C, razor tool, delete that, and maybe to where they go around the corner right there. C, delete that. Okay, so we got our footage basically rough cut like this. Let's look our edits. Goes up, then it comes to this guy. Okay, cool. Now, the thing I want to take a look at here is these various tools. Let's take a look at this ripple edit tool. Now, we're in a ripple edit, so if I come over here and I go, you know what, I want to cut this guy right there where he's putting that ice cream cone in his mouth. What I want to do is I want to remove this end, but I want to take out what I'm removing. In other words, if I cut here and then I deleted and moved everything down up to here, that's what this ripple edit tool does. I just drag it to where I want it. Voila. The footage is now cut right to where I want it. I can do the same thing over here. I just want this guy to come in over here. I just want to show him demolishing this cone. Ripple edit down to there. Now the guy cuts to here. Let me ripple edit to here. Close up that space. Cool. And then I'll just chop that end off right there. So we got this coming up here, going to the sign, slow-mo guy, then we can flip to that. Okay. That is what a ripple edit does. Let's look at a rolling edit. That's N on the keyboard for me. A rolling edit says, I'm going to, there's a clip here and there's a clip here. What I want to do is I want to roll the clips. You'll notice on the left, what I'm doing is I'm moving back to where the cut is. And on the right, the other guy. So let's see what we got. So I rolled edit. I'd moved it from where it was over here and cleared it up. So now we end up chopping there and going there. Let's see that again over here. We're going to roll edit. We're going to move more over down here like that. Now we got the guy doing the ice cream and we immediately cut. Let's undo that. That is a rolling edit. The next thing is a rate stretch tool. Let's take a look at that. A rate stretch is simply retiming. You probably have this and you can go in here and pick some sort of options that you have. For instance, if I am in Premiere Pro, I can set the speed of duration and I can set this to 200% or 50% or scrub along here and do all sorts of things on that. That's really a pain. The rate stretch tool, for me it's R, it looks like that. It basically says I want to take the length of this and I want to make it faster or slower. So let's speed this whole thing up here. We're going to rate stretch that sucker and see what we got. That's faster. Let's really go crazy. That's a lot faster. Let's undo that. Now over here we have these people walking from here to here. Using the rate stretch tool to make it longer, not a good idea like that. What's happening is now I have slow motion. Now you'll notice because this was shot at 30 frames a second that it's jerky. Next frame, next frame, next frame, next frame, next frame. What's happening is there are other tools to do things with this, but right now it's just basically saying, I don't know what to do with the internal frames in between because you rate stretch the heck out of me. You could probably push this a little bit, maybe like that. Get some sort of slow-mo before it goes. If you shoot at, say, 60 frames a second, and then you rate stretch the thing, hey, it works out a lot better. Let me see what I got here. So what I got here, this is actually at 60 frames a second. So let's take a look at this. So if I'm sitting here and I'm rate stretching this, yeah, it just can't handle that. Let's undo that. I could probably get about double out of this thing because it was shot at 60 frames. You shot it at 120 or whatever, you could stretch it. That's the rate stretch tool. And that covers the ripple edit, the rolling edit, and the rate stretch. The cut tool you already saw. It's also known as a slice tool or a razor tool. You just turn on this tool and you just start clicking and chopping and chop, 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 chop away. Let's undo that. Next we have these tools. One's called the slip tool, one's called the slide tool. Let's take a look at the slip tool. It's Y. If we go into our footage here, let's go in on this one and let's slip this back some. And what happened was it slipped it from there, starting there, to starting there. That's all you're doing is you're basically slipping the end or the other side. So let's slip this again. Let's go the other way. So we're slipping around the corner to where I pull up the thing. Now let's see what happens. Now we're starting here. and then I pull up. That's the slip tool. Next tool, let's look at the slide tool. This works on 2 different clips. Let's do it this way. Let's put our ice cream cone guy down there and use these tools. So I'm going to here and I'm going to this walking thing. I currently have the, let's go to the slide tool. Now watch what happens. Now on the left, I'm basically sliding. You can see that I'm sliding things around through the timeline. So I come up, that's a cut. I can also click on this clip, and instead of, here we go, let's slide this around. This one can be a tough one to get used to. Let's undo all that. Let's slide on this guy. So see what's happening is it's showing me my beginning and my end at the top with the 2 little thumbnails, and then it's showing me where I'm sliding to. Let's say I want to slide to right, because remember there's more footage sitting here. So I can do this edit to where I slide right there, and now I got a perfect cut right there. Boom. That is the slip and slide tool. These basically are pretty simple tools. The thing you need to do is just look at them. They sit in different places depending on your editor. There's a slip tool and a slide tool. There's the ripple edit, the rolling edit, and the rate stretch tool. And those are basically the tools. Well, of course, the slicer or cut tool. Those are basically the tools. They have all sorts of keyboard commands. There's other ways you can do that. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of these tools, that they work, how to use them. It takes practice to get used to it. You need to be able to sit there and pick these, and then eventually you get the keyboard commands. If I'm going to cut and rate stretch, C, cut, rate stretch, R, C, cut, V is my selection tool, move it over. You get used to doing that and you will half or quarter the amount of time it takes for you to edit. As I said, like copy and paste, it's continually drilling the use of these tools until they become second nature and you don't have to think about it. I've included some links below to various editing programs if you're interested. And if you haven't entered the $300 worth of Amazon gift cards giveaway, I don't know, maybe you don't like free money. That ends June 15th, and you've got until then to get in as many entries as you can. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Hello? Oh, hi, sweetie. No, I'm not filming. New boyfriend. Really? What's he look like? Is he a stud? Is he rich? What does he think about giving money to mothers and fathers of daughters? Yeah, you busted me. I'm filming and this is going into an outtake. Sorry, baby.